Hey everybody, it's Elijah Griffith with you on Gearheart Radio. Tomorrow night on September 18th, Adam Chaffins and Brit Taylor will be at the Jenny Wiley Amphitheater in good old Prestons Brit, Kentucky. And here to talk about the big show, welcome on, well, Adam Chaffins and Brit Taylor. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're so excited to come home tomorrow.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Yeah, welcome back home to Eastern Kentucky. How long has it been since y'all been around these parts?
Oh, my gosh. I don't remember the last time I was in Knott County or Floyd County.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We try to get home around the holidays for sure. But I guess we played a show up in Prestonsburg. It's probably been 2 years now, so we haven't really played anything around that way in quite a while.
So do you have any things that you like have to go visit or places that you have to eat while you're around your home area?
Oh, my gosh. Well, we love Lizzie B's, of course. And there's a little icy stand in Knott County beside a Knott County Central, and it's basically the best kept secret in the world. And I always try to get out there to that, but I don't know if I'm too late. I don't think she's open this late into the season.
Yeah, I've got a few things, man. I like, I'm from Louisa, and Dee's Drive-In's there in Louisa, so I've always got to get a Dee's hot dog with hot dog sauce and the onion rings and cheese sticks, and then they got old Giovanni's Pizza out there, and then for sure my mama's biscuits when I'm home. That's for sure.
I didn't realize this interview was going to be making me hungry this morning, but here we are. But
you started it.
It's going to be great to see y'all live tomorrow night. I've been looking forward to this show for a long time because I just think that y'all make such incredible music together. Whenever a friend told me about y'all and turned me on to the Further Away music video that y'all released a few weeks back, and such a beautiful song and such a moving music video. How long have y'all been working together?
Man.
Playing together for what? I mean, we did a show in Paintsville, Kentucky, how many years ago?
That was a long time. That was kind of the first time me and Britt actually met. And that's been, it's been a while ago. That's been 4 years, probably.
Yeah, we really started working together when I recorded my record in the start of 2018. Adam played and sang background vocals on my upcoming record.
Yeah, and Further Away was something that was, on my first album, which came out in February, called Some Things Won't Last. And with everything that's kind of happened and how this year and the world is shaped, that song just kind of had a new meaning. And it was an awesome opportunity to record a song of mine with Britt, and to go in the studio and do that was great. And then the video and the whole process and everyone involved in that was just super special, and especially after the year and season that everyone's had, it was a lot to kind of go in and record that and capture all that.
Yeah, it was a very moving music video. To anybody that hasn't checked it out, I highly suggest that they do so. And I've been reading up on y'all here, and you've kind of had a interesting start to your music careers. Both of y'all went to different universities and colleges to study music. A lot of musicians would just go to Nashville or some other big city like Louisville and just try to play at some local dive bars or get out there each and every way they can. What made y'all want to pursue the education part of your music career?
I've always wanted to be a songwriter, so I knew that Nashville was where I had to be able to co-write. And I didn't know anything about music business, and I thought it would be a smart thing to learn about music business if I wanted to work in it. So I actually got a degree in music business, which was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I have it now.
Man, my path, it's different. I always wanted to do music, and I had some great scholarship opportunities to go to college for it. So I just kind of dove in, and the path from then to now is definitely been around the bend and back again. But yeah, just to want to learn more about everything that's happening in music. I'm fortunate to say my entire music education was all rooted in Eastern Kentucky. I went to Morehead State University and got a music degree, and then came to Nashville for grad school for music. But I started touring, and that was way more fun than sitting in a class and being told things that you don't really care about as much anymore.
Yeah, I understand. And Adam, I've been listening to a lot of your music here lately, and I started reading up on you, and it totally made sense whenever I seen that you are breaking genre barriers, how you do Americana and country, but you also mix in a little bit of R&B and rock and roll and stuff like that. But do you have one genre of music that you particularly dig a little bit more than the others or anything? Do you have a favorite?
Oh man, it just depends on the day of the week, I suppose. I'm pretty musically moody, I'll admit. It goes back and forth. But man, my roots and everything is right there off US 23, and that, East Kentucky soul country seems to seep into anything I try to do. So I think at the core, that's where everything sits.
And Brittany, you had quite a fascinating story whenever I was reading about you. Like right after your high school graduation, you packed up your personal belongings and your dog because, of course, you got to take the dog. And you went down to Tennessee there to start your music career. But that must have been scary to do all of that on your own, fresh out of high school.
It was terrifying. For sure. I mean, the high schools back home are so tiny, and I just show up at this giant university, and I don't know anybody, and my family's so far away. It was really scary, but I got so lucky. I met somebody the first day of orientation who's now one of my best friends, and she was from there, and kind of sucked me into her family, and it just worked out. It just seemed like it was meant to be.
Y'all have had a lot of amazing things happen to you, though, whenever it comes to both of your music careers. I mean, you work with world-class musicians. You have been featured in articles such as like the Rolling Stone, and NPR has talked about you, same articles as Dolly Parton. When did big things start happening for y'all in your music career? And was it kind of a slow process, or was there something that ignited it to be more of a overnight thing?
I think Adam and I had to try all the wrong things first.
Yeah.
We've both been in numerous bands that didn't work out, and we've toured with other artists on the road as just side touring musicians. And I think everything started happening when we stopped listening to the big fancy record labels telling us what we needed to be, or that we weren't quite what they were looking for, not good enough. And the moment that everything started happening is when we decided ourselves that we are good enough and we can do this, and we just did it on our own. We're both independent artists, and we're releasing music independently and figuring stuff out as we go, and we're busting our butts. And that's when everything started happening, when we just decided that for ourselves that we were good enough to release our own music.
Yeah. I mean, she pretty much nailed that. It's interesting. There's so many different ways and things, and I've been really fortunate to have worked with such a wide array of other artists and bands, and a lot of those bands I've been in, we're still so close and brothers and support each other so well, and I've been super fortunate that has been a part of my journey. But yeah, I think it all just comes back to, realizing what you really wanted to do and who you really want to be and what voice you really want to have. And I think it's just trying to be true to ourselves has been the goal and objective. And that's when things seem to start, falling into place.
Yeah, y'all have had a lot of amazing things happen to you, and congratulations on all of them. But has there been anything that has happened in your entertainment career that you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened, or just any special memories stick out to you?
Oh my God.
I mean, I've got to do some really fun things. I've been on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry a few times, and that was a great experience. I've got to sing on the Ryman Auditorium and tour the world. And I think it's interesting. Like, all those big moments you think are the ones, but it's really the tiny little moments. It's, getting somewhere and someone sending you a message saying how much their music meant to you or how far they drove to come see your show. Those are the things I honestly think about and hold the closest to my memories.
For sure. Yeah, and Adam, you got to stand on stage with John Prine. I know that was a big one for you because I thought...
What? That is crazy.
Yeah, that was cool. I definitely got to be close enough to see the sweat on the back of his neck. That was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, there's been so many things. I guess the most recent thing that I'm super excited about is the record I got to make with Dave Brainerd, and the fact that he even wanted to record with me, because I've been a huge fan of him since the first Brandy Clark record came out, 12 Stories. And the opportunity came about to write with Dan Auerbach, who's a mega superstar, and I got to be in his studio, and just like being in that environment was a real dream.
Well, as the old saying goes, everything has a beginning. So when did your music career begin? When did the idea pop into your head, like, this is what I want to do with my life? I want to be a musician. I want to be a singer-songwriter. Where did it start for you? I
started singing in at the Mountain Arts Center in the Kentucky Opry Junior Pros when I was 7 years old, I think. And I think a part of me knew then that was something that was always going to be a part of me, that it was something I felt very deeply. And my first trip to Nashville, I guess I was 13. I got to be in a Montgomery Gentry video, which was hilarious. And I knew then that I had to get to Nashville some way, and I had to do it in a way that my parents were going to, be for it. And I knew that was school, and I knew I needed to learn about music business. So that's when I started researching how I could get to Nashville and make it make sense.
Pretty similar. I really don't remember a time in my life when I didn't want to be a musician. Really from the get-go, before I could ever play instruments or anything, I remember just scribbling things down on a piece of paper because I thought I was writing a song. So I've always, wanted to be close to music my entire life. And, I had some family that live in the Nashville area. So when I was a kid, I used to come down here, in the 90s and, went to the old Opryland amusement park as a kid and got to see some of the Opry stuff. And at that point, I was just so enamored with 90s country as a kid and CMT. And, to be here now, and I've had videos on CMT and all that thing, it's so full circle, and it's crazy to think about that it just kind of happens.
So do y'all have any goals whenever it comes to your music career? Because, some entertainers, they want the fame and fortune, and some may just want to play at a historic venue or even just touch people with their tunes and travel and see the world. I think that every entertainer gets into the business for some reason and has some sort of goal.
I think any musician's goal is to be heard and seen. We create music so that it can be heard and it can touch somebody, and hopefully we can make a living on it so we can keep doing it. I think that is the goal. I'd love to do theaters. I want to play the Ryman someday. I have little goals like that written on my dream board.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's to make a statement that helps someone or does something for everybody else. To me, and also fulfills yourself in that process. I think having released that Further Away acoustic thing here recently and been recording more music that I'm excited to share here soon. That whole process has been like, this is what I've set out to do, is to create and to put stuff out there. And now more than ever, it's just that's the goal, is to put things out there and hope it connects with someone and not get too caught up in everything that surrounds it and the whole inner workings of, quote unquote music business kind of things, and be yourself and put things out and just be honest.
Yeah, I think all the other stuff, the fame and the fortune, is just a side effect of doing something well that you love.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I think for me and Brittany both, that making music and things that are true to ourselves, and if we think it put out there for other people to kind of latch onto is the focus, and the rest of that stuff is something else that might come with it or does come along, but it's not. We're not out to do anything that just creates fame for fame's sake. I'm just not really into that as much.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. And it's funny how y'all mentioned how you want to connect with people, because I think that that's something that your music truly does, because I listen to the words and it's so personal how you're singing about your own lives and your own experiences. A lot of artists out there, especially in the Nashville area, are just focusing on hits, but you can tell that you really care about your audience and you want them to relate to your music. But is it sometimes scary to release a song so personal? Do you ever have the thought in your head that maybe not? Does that ever occur to you?
Oh, yeah, especially with this record, because it is really personal, and I'm not in a band anymore, so you can't blame any of your emotions or lyrics on your bandmates. And, everybody in your hometown, they know your history and your stuff, and they know about you. And so, yeah, it is a little scary knowing that some of these songs are going to come out, and there's some people that are going to know exactly where I'm coming from, as vague as some of the songs may be, because I really wanted to convey an emotion more than a story on this record, so that other people could put their stories into the record. So yeah, it is scary. It's being vulnerable, but I think vulnerability is a big strength, and I think it's something that we all need to practice more, especially in this day and age, is being vulnerable.
Yeah, I think those feelings of, is this too much or closeness or whatever, the vulnerability of it, I think is what makes it right. Those feelings you have of man, this is a lot. I think those feelings kind of can indicate that you're doing something right. That if it doesn't feel that way, maybe you need to dig a little deeper,
Yeah, I totally get what y'all are saying. And I just got to say that I think that y'all make some of the most beautiful music to come out of Eastern Kentucky. I love listening to the stories that you tell, and it's going to be awesome to see y'all at the Jenny Wiley Amphitheater on September 18th in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. And for anybody else that wants to come out to the show and have a good time with us, where do they get tickets?
macarts.com. And you can find links on both of our Facebook profile pages. Look us up, Adam Chaffins Brit Taylor, and we're on Instagram as well. You can get tickets there at macarts.com. And what's the phone number, Britt? There's a phone number too.
I think it's 1-888-MAC-ARTS.
Yep, you got it.
There's a phone number there, and we're going to have such a good time. We're really excited. Broken Throne Brewing out of Pikeville is going to come, so there's going to be some local brews happening, and really looking forward to meeting those guys and having a good time.
It's going to be beautiful weather, a little chilly, so bring a blanket, and we are socially distanced at this concert, which means tickets are limited. We want to do our best. It's really important to me and Adam to make sure that everybody stays safe at this concert, because our families are going to be there. So please, masks are recommended, and we're going to socially distance. So please get your tickets early so you don't get there and it's sold out. And we're just looking so forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, like she said, it's, we want to keep everybody safe, and it's a limited capacity, and people can sit together with their families if they'd like, but we're going to spread everybody out. It's a nice, spacious amphitheater there, and we're going to get all in there and be cozy from a distance. That's what we'll do.
Hey, that sounds good to me. We'll have a good time. Everybody is invited to come out to the Jenny Wiley Amphitheater on September 18th for Adam Chaffins and Brit Taylor live in concert. And Brit, Adam, thank you again for your time today, and we'll see you this Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.